I don't see it in my view. Hang on a second. Speaker, I see you instead of the screen. Anyways, well, I know what I'm looking at. I got it on my other screen. All right. Amazon took their Lumberyard game engine, which is a AAA game engine. By AAA, they mean, all the big titles that you can get for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, all the big games, Fortnite, all that type of stuff. Those are considered AAA game because they're high production value and quality of the game. So they took their Lumberyard game engine, which is based on Crytek and CryEngine, Crytek's CryEngine game engine, and they changed it up quite a bit, made it modular, and made it into their own game engine called O3DE. So my proposal is we've been talking on Saturday study group about having hang on a second. There we go. Having a game to where the group can experiment with Python. So come to find out that Open3DE does not use Python in the game runtime when you compile the game, but it does in fact use it for these things they call gems. And it's built for extensibility. Now they took their original game engine, they made it more modular, and they completely open sourced it. It's under the Apache license. I'm part of the community. I help with the development. There's quite a few people. And the goal is to use me as a bridge to that community and to give people some fun time playing with the game engine and the Python aspect of it. Now, how you do Python with it, though, is since you can't use it for the gameplay when you build out the actual game, is you use it in the editor. The editor is where you construct, and this is a little picture of the editor, and I already posted this link to this in the chat. I'll also post it in the Slack channel. And as you can see here, what they've done is they've used, in this example, which we'll take a look at the code in just a second here, they've actually created this screen. Now it uses Qt and PySide. And if you're familiar with PySide, it's just pretty straightforward stuff. I'll show you some code in just a second here. But you can create these different objects on the right-hand side of the center of the screen. You can see they were created from the buttons on the left-hand side of the center screen. So what we'll do is we'll get experience with the AAA gaming engine, which will be fun. Get experience in a content editor for 3D. And we'll also get experience in Window and Qt and PySide. And the cool part of this is part of my technology bridge between San Diego and Pasadena. So what we're doing on the Pasadena side is working with some of the different rovers and some of the different JPL and NASA assets. So we'll have access to working with that group and like the Webb telescope, 3D Webb telescope. So we'll be able to animate stuff in this game and simulation engine, as well as do whatever we want to. So we may, for the first game, for example, might be Snakes or something Tron-like, which is a typical kind of a Hello World type for gaming, is doing a Snakes game. So that will be easily done because one of the things I'm going to offer to the group is I'm working with somebody in the community on their containerization of this, so it can actually be virtual and in the cloud. That way, you don't even have to have this installed on your computer, the game engine, and we can play with it on Saturday Python as a group. It's about a 90 plus meg download if you download the binaries, and pardon me, a 90 gig download if you download the binaries. So it's just as good as the big DLCs that you get in the games that you purchase that are AAA games. And so what I'll do is I will set up a virtual machine to where we can virtually, there's a little bit of a challenge with that because it's graphics heavy. And last but not least, let's take a quick look at the code, and then that's it. I'll see if you have any questions. Here's some code. If you're familiar with Qt and PySide, pretty simple. Basically, it's used for GUIs, and it's your typical imports. And then it's just some class stuff. It's pretty straightforward to generate a user interface, and then just some Python pushing some pieces and parts around from the API. This is the top half of the file. I think it's looks like it's 165 lines. This is the first 46 lines, just to show you it's nothing scary. And I was told that this Lightning presentation, the presentations in general, are 100% survival rate. So I'm not going to spontaneously explode presenting. And I don't think you're going to spontaneously explode looking at the source code with me when we actually work on this on Saturday Python and in Slack. So with that, that's the end of my presentation. Keep an eye out in the Slack channel on Saturday Python Study Group, and I'll keep updating everybody on what's available. And I'm looking forward to anybody jumping in and participating if they want to be part of it. So that's it. I think I even beat the, what did I clock it at, 4.5 minutes? Or did I make it 5?
Perfect. Perfect. Any questions before we move on to our last speaker?